Good morning, Ma'am Jo. This is my report about the AI development at present time. One of the AI development at the present time is the self-driving car. Self-driving vehicles are cars or trucks in which human drivers are never required to take control to safely operate the vehicle, also known as autonomous or driverless cars. They combine sensors and software to control, navigate, and drive the vehicle. Currently, there are no legally operating, fully autonomous vehicles in the United States. There are, there are, however, partially autonomous vehicles, cars and trucks with varying amounts of self-automation, from conventional cars with brake and lane assistance to highly independent self-driving prototypes. Waymo LLC is an American autonomous driving technology development company. It is a subsidiary of Alphabet Incorporation, the parent company of Google. Waymo operates commercial self-driving taxi service in the Greater Phoenix, Arizona area called Waymo One, with Chandler, Arizona fully mapped. In October 2020, the company expanded the service to the public, and it was the only self-driving commercial service that operates without safety backup drivers in the vehicle at the time. Waymo also develops driving technology for use in other vehicles, including delivery vans and Class 8 tractor trailers for delivery and logistics. Waymo is run by co-CEO Tikidra Mawakana and Dmitry Dolgov. The company has raised $3 billion in two outside funding rounds. Waymo has partnership with multiple vehicle manufacturers to integrate Waymo technologies, including with Daimler, AG, Nissan, Renault, Stellantis, Jaguar, Land Rover, and Volvo. Google development of self-driving technology began on January 12, 2009 at the company's secretive Google X lab run by co-founders Sergey Brin. The project was launched by Sebastian Thrun, the former director of the Stanford Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, or SALI, and Anthony Lewandowski, founder of 510 System and Anthony's Robots. Before working at Google, Thrun and 15 engineers, including Dmitry Dolgov, Anthony Lewandowski, and Mike Montemerlo, worked together on a digital mapping technology project for SALI called ViewTool. Many of the team members had met at the 2005 DARPA Ground Challenge, where both Thrun and Lewandowski had teams competing in the robotic self-driving car challenge. In 2007, Google hired the entire ViewTool team to help advance Google Street View technology. As part of the Street View's development, 100 Toyota Priuses were purchased and outfitted with a Topcon box, digital mapping hardware development by Lewandowski Company 510 system. In 2008, the Street View team launched Project Ground Truth to create accurate road maps by extracting data from satellites and street views. This laid the groundwork for the Google self-driving car program. The strengths of the IA robotic self-driving car. Strengths: Arguably, the most significant benefit to automated vehicles is the potential for safer transportation. When machines can eliminate human error, the ability to control the flow of traffic is greatly increased. While, while there are still concerns with machine hardware, software that pose rest, those risks already exist in our current model of transportation, albeit on a simpler scale. Wal Hansfeld, transportation director for the Georgetown Business Improvement District, claims in his article that over 80% of automobile-related fatalities are attributed to human error, either negligence, destruction, incapacitation, malice, or other uniquely human quality. It's also worth mentioning that a major strength to automotive driving are the stresses that would not longer be a part of daily life. The morning commute to work would be relaxing as you drank coffee and read the newspaper. No longer would it be uncaught to be caught using an electric razor or applying mascara by fellow commuters. Now you've got nothing but time as you ride to work. Their weaknesses. The weaknesses presented by automated driving come in varied forms. The initial concern would be the reliance on technology. Driving can be a very dangerous task, and to put the task entirely under the control of an automated system is frightening. In an automotive transportation system, safety is completely reliant upon the infrastructure of the program. How will long it take to develop such an infrastructure? Regulations need to be determined for manufacturers and traffic system may need to be modified in order to make automated driving possible in some areas. A massive amount of data needs to be collected and hours upon hours of testing need to be conducted before implementation could be possible. Alexis Madrigal states in her article that so far, Google has mapped 2,000 miles of road. The US road network has something like 4 million miles of road. There are other more abstract factors to consider as well when talking about weaknesses. What are the legal implications of self-driving cars? If an autonomous vehicle is involved in a crash, who is held liable? The owner of the vehicle, the manufacturer, and what about the vehicle's ability to make two decisions? Carl Stock possesses a scenario in his article. Consider a bus swerving into oncoming traffic. A human driver may react differently than a sentient car. For example, if she noticed the vehicle was full of school kids, another person may swerve differently than a robot driver to prioritize the safety of a spouse in the passenger seat. So, issues is and challenges. In many ways, the age of autonomous vehicle or EV has already begun. Cities nationwide are entering partnership with companies to allow testing on public roads. The US Department of Transportation released its guidance on EVs, and people are buying Teslas that include an autopilot feature. It is not too late, however, for cities not yet part of this wave to prepare themselves for the advent of larger scale deployment. Seattle is one such city and it's begun suffering a worsening congestion problem over the past decade. According to the TomTom Traffic Index, the Emerald City ranks fourth in congestion in the United States. But with its concentration of tech companies, EVs could begin to dot Seattle roadways. In an effort to inform residents and city officials, the University of Washington's Tech Policy Lab and the Mobility Innovation Center released Driverless Seattle PDF. A report that breaks down some common misconceptions, explains the current regulatory environment, explores how EV will affect the city in the short, medium, and long term, and offers how best to anticipate six major challenges. The first major challenges is traffic management. The EV evangelists often refer to the traffic flow efficiently that could be created by self-driving vehicles. Cars that communicate with one another can avoid accidents and travel much more closely together. In maximizing space, much of the current EV conservation, however, has been focused on personal vehicles. There is enormous potential for self-driving trucks and shortening the concept for big rigs to drive in caravans extremely close to each other, or self-driving shuttles that can help solve last mile traffic issues. The problem with these estimates, according to the report, is that its self-driving vehicles become available too quickly. They may lead to more personal vehicles on the road, thus disincentivizing more traffic efficient public transportation options. EVs could lead to longer commutes because riders could use their time for reading or perusing social media on a smartphone. Seattle may be able to read the benefits of limited EV deployment by requiring traffic data to better inform the city departments on how traffic flow is onward to congestion points are. Currently, Seattle's Advanced Traffic Management System (ATMS) is capable of collecting on-street traffic data, but transmitting EV traffic data to ATMS could optimize traffic patterns and through signal manipulation or direct communication. Second six major challenges is the infrastructure. Because of the radical change that EVs will bring to the current system of transportation, infrastructure pitfalls will become a glaring need. Often, EVs need clear lane stripping, places to store the data collected by driving, and it can be run on electricity, a more robust charging network. Without properly anticipating the sometimes opaque challenges, the system could be crippled on its infancy. The report recommends opening dialogue now in order to prioritize public investments in infrastructure. Engaging in community and industry outreach could help officials understand whether it could be necessary to expand existing infrastructure or establish new features for EVs. The third one is revenue. In its ultimate form, EVs will not run red lights. They will not speed down the highway over the limit or overstay metered parking spots. This will, however, impact the city budget. And total traffic fines constitute 2.6% of the city operating fund. Seattle will have to generate new revenue streams in order to counteract the loss of funding. One suggestion from the report is for the city to develop a mileage tax or an EV registration tax. Four is liability insurance. One of the murkiest areas for self-driving vehicles is the issue of liability and insurance. How will insurance companies handle vendors while a driver was reading and not paying attention to the road? Furthermore, who will constitute as the driver? Who has ultimate control? The answer again lies in community partnership. The report recommends opportunity for partnering with EV companies to facilitate the smooth introduction to EVs. And while many insurance and liability issues are not under city jurisdiction, Seattle could remain informed of developing liability policies. 5 is police and emergency response. More questions are raised from EVs when thinking about law enforcement. How will police officers be able to recognize if a tailgating car is actually a series of connected EVs? It is not hard to imagine EVs being used as drug malls to transport narcotics. Local police department could also become confused if during a routine traffic stop an EV is pulled over. In the short term, the report suggests developing specific training procedures for police and emergency service interaction with EVs. In the long run, law enforcement agents may want to work with manufacturers on creating a kill switch to disable an EV that could be suspected of transporting illegal cargo. In the medium term, emergency service could coordinate with EVs to automate some police surveillance efforts or ambulance dispatch. Last is social justice and equity. Among the most challenging issues facing the onset of EVs is the danger that it could overly benefit the wealthy and create more burdens for lower income residents. If EVs follow the typical ownership models, the technology will be exclusively owned by the upper class, and lower income community member will inadvertently be forced to bear the brunt of traffic fines. Those without EVs may also be disadvantages when it comes to employment, as those with EVs would be able to work and answer emails while commuting. There is no easy solution to this problem. Seattle should proactively consider both the positive and negative impacts of EV technology and policy responses on advantageous groups at every stage of regulation, development, and infrastructure funding. The reports read only by the actively staying aware of benefits and drawbacks while Seattle officials be able to distribute the benefits equally. The opportunities and disadvantages and benefits of the self-driving car. The opportunities is presented by autonomous transportation are seemingly limitless. Obviously, business and manufacturing will suffer losses and experience gains. Jobs like taxi and bus drivers will go away, but new occupation will emerge in the industry. Manufacturing itself will change dramatically. Hansfeld claims that cars will be parked for 98% of their lives, which currently average 15 to 26 years. However, autonomous cars would present a new paradigm for transportation. One, much fewer cars spend much more time on the road. The opportunity for ride sharing will present an entirely new life cycle for automobiles. Hansfeld claims automobile manufacturers will have to adapt the volume of vehicles they produce annually, while many fewer cars will be needed across the economy. Those that are autonomous will be driving such are frequently, their replacement cycle would be more similar to police vehicles, which only last around 3 to 5 years before wear and tear makes replacement a better option on repair. Alongside this change in the manufacturing paradigm could be the ownership structure. While cars may become more expensive, the need to own one might be less crucial for many Americans. Instead, ride sharing may become much more popular, turning transportation into more of a pay as you go service. As the country prepares to shift towards another system of transportation, this could also become the perfect opportunity to incorporate more electric technology into automobiles, thus reducing carbon emissions. Hansfeld argues that although there are big pushes to spread multiple charging kiosks in certain areas, an automated transportation structure would allow for central charging station instead. Isaac Roman PhD in economics at the University of California, Berkeley argues there will be indirectly impacts on the economy as well. In his article, Roman argues two main points that an autonomous car will cause cities to expand and that they will decouple buildings and parking lots, which will make available value land for development. By changing the way that we commute, we need to park locally will significantly decrease, if not disappear in some areas. This means that main areas will be able to develop much more space currently located to parking structures. Roman also argues that alongside developments is unused space, people will be more willing to commute, which will cause cities to grow. He states like suburban rail in the early 20th century and the mass consumer automobile that follow, driverless cars will generate a gradual but dramatic expansion of cities. The advantages of the self-driving car. First is the decrease the number of accidents. Autonomous cars prevent human errors from happening as the system controls the vehicle. It leaves no opportunity for distraction. It's just like humans who are prone to interactions. It also uses complicated algorithms that determine the correct stopping distance from one vehicle to another, thereby lessening the chances of accidents dramatically. Second, lessens traffic jams. Driverless cars in a group participate in platooning. This allows the vehicles to brake or accelerate simultaneously. Platon system allows automotive highway system which may significantly reduce congestion and improve traffic by increasing up the line capacity. Autonomous cars communicate well with one another. They will help in identifying traffic problems early on. It detects road fixing and deters instantly. It also picks up and signals from the motorist and reacts to it accordingly. 3. Stress-free parking. Autonomous cars drop you off at your destination and directly heads to a detected vacant parking spot. This eliminates the wasting of time and gas looking for a vacant one. Time-saving vehicle. As the system takes over the control, the driver has a spare time to continue work or spend this time catching up with their loved ones without having to fear about road safety. Accessibility to transportation. Senior citizens and disabled personnel are having difficult driving. Autonomous vehicles assess them towards safety and accessible transportation. Disadvantages of the self-driving car. First is expensive. High technology vehicles and equipment are expensive. They prefer a large amount of money for research and develop as well as in choosing the finest and most functional materials needed as a software. Modified vehicles, parts, and sensors. Thus, the cost of having autonomous cars is initially higher. However, this may be lowered down after 10 years, giving way for the average earner people to have one. Safety and security concerns. Though it has been successfully programmed, there will still be possible unexpected glitch that may happen. Technologies are continuously updating and almost all of this equipment may have a faulty code when the update has not properly and successfully done. Prone to hacking. Autonomous vehicles could be the next major target of the hackers as this vehicle continuously tracks and monitors details of the owner. This may lead to the possible collection of personal data. Favor job opportunities for others. As the artificial intelligence continues to overcome the roles and responsibilities of the humans, taxi trucks or even co-pilots may be laid off as the service will no longer be needed. This may significantly impact the employment rate and economic growth of the certain country. Non-functional sensors. Sensors failures often happen during drastic weather conditions. This may not work during a blizzard or a heavy snowfall. Our technology still continues to develop and to be tested. Autonomous cars may provide a significant comfort when needed. However, we need to bear in mind that there are still disadvantages affiliated with it. The benefits. The biggest benefit of using a self-driving car is significantly fewer traffic accidents. More than 90% of all accidents are caused by some degree of human error, including distractions, impaired driving, or poor decision making. With self-driving cars making decisions and communicating with one another, the number of accidents could plummet. Other benefits will include mobility. For the elderly, for the elderly and disabled who may not be physically or legally able to operate a human driving vehicle, reduce traffic congestion thanks to self-driving cars communicating and coordinating with one another. Our free time during communicating hours because drivers will no longer have to operate their vehicles. So the conclusion of the self-driving cars. If the people's thoughts hasn't changed about the self-driving cars being safe, these cars are already safe and are becoming safer. Only if they believe and give a try to technology, they get to enjoy the luxury of computerized driving. Driverless cars appear to be an important next step in transportation technology. They are a new all-media capsule takes to your heart, desire and it's safe. Developments in autonomous car is continuing and the software in the car is continuing to be updated. Through it all started from a driverless through to a radio frequency, cameras, sensors, more semi-autonomous features will come up, thus reducing the congestions, increasing the safety with faster reaction and fewer errors. People who currently reject self-driving cars would say no to modern technology and automatic system. And that's all my report, Miss. Thank you.